So first we have Miss Glenda Morales. Glenda is a licensed realtor with Proper Home Sales, dedicated to helping buyers and sellers achieve their real estate goals with professionalism and care since 2009. She is known for her strong work ethic, effective communication, and ability to build lasting relationships. She's also earned respect from her peers in the community. In addition to her real estate work, Glenda and David Cropper co-founded Together for Fredericksburg. It's a nonprofit organization that helps other local nonprofits raise funds to support their missions. She currently serves as the 2025 president of the Women's Council of Realtors Nova Metro. She's membership director for the Fredericksburg Host Lions Club and is a volunteer for Ellie's Elves. Glenda is also a proud team captain for Relay for Life Greater Spotsylvania. She volunteers her time teaching first-time homebuyer seminars in partnership with the Central Virginia Housing Coalition, helping educate and empower individuals on their path to homeownership. And with her dedication to service and a passion for making a difference, she continues to inspire others and create meaningful connections in both her personal and professional community endeavors. So please welcome Glenda.
Thank you.
Our next panelist is Denise Smith. Denise is a dedicated realtor, broker with Century 21 Redwood, and a proud Air Force veteran. With over 20 years of experience in the real estate industry, Denise specializes in helping first-time homebuyers and managing challenging sales while always going above and beyond to meet her clients' unique needs. Beyond her many professional accomplishments, including production awards and multiple designations, Denise serves as governor on the board of the Realtor Foundation, a nonprofit organization that serves other nonprofits in our community by raising and granting funds for housing-related needs. She's also a member of the FAAR Community Service Committee, is deeply committed to giving back to the community, specifically to local school children and their families. She was the 2020 FAAR Good Neighbor Award recipient, recognized for her extraordinary community involvement, especially for her efforts during the COVID-19 crisis, when she played a pivotal role in supporting local students and families in Spotsylvania County through Feed the Gap. Her selflessness, starting the panel off great, and dedication to improving lives and lifting spirits make her a true asset both in real estate and her community. So please welcome Denise. And finally, we have Miss Beth Pannell. She is a realtor with First Choice Better Homes and Land and a lifelong resident of the Fredericksburg area. With her deep local knowledge and commitment to the community, Beth is passionate about helping her clients find housing solutions that truly meet their needs, and she strives to make sure each client feels like part of the family. In addition to her professional work, Beth is deeply integrated in community involvement. She was the 2023 FAAR Good Neighbor Award recipient, recognized for her tireless work with organizations such as the Central Virginia Justice Initiative, Transitions for You, Habitat for Humanity, and many more. Whether it's through her work with the homeless, organizing outreach events at WPER Radio, or serving in her church's children's ministry, Beth's passion for service and building genuine relationship is evident in all aspects. So please welcome Beth. All right, ladies, I'm going to get started with just a few questions. Please, whoever wants to take first approach, feel free, and then we'll open up the floor at the end, okay? So first, what inspired you to become actively involved in community service as a real estate professional?
I'll go first. Previous experiences in my life, initially when I was growing up, in El Salvador, I saw the Lions Club being very active in my community. As a 10-year-old, I was just like, oh, I want to be like that. I want to be able to help out. As an adult, life, takes you different paths. My church was, there for me when I needed some help. And that inspires me to give back and just, give a little bit of my time and sometimes money, it just, whatever it takes to be out there.
Thank you.
I'll go next. I feel like I've always wanted to help people since I was a child. It's been a desire there. Used to be animals when I was a kid, like pets and stuff. And as I grew into adulthood, I would see different needs in the community and I would always want to fix things. But I learned you can't fix everything. So I would just find an area that I was passionate about and try to help any way I could. When I got into real estate, I had the time and flexibility to be able to see different needs and give more.
Thank you.
Kind of similar to their stories growing up, my parents were always helping others, whether it was through the church, helping families, or just friends, neighbors. And then we were also growing up, we didn't have a lot, so we would receive help. And so as I got older and then got into real estate and was becoming more successful, I had the funds to continue helping. I always tried to help at some capacity, because whether you have a lot or a little, I believe that there's always something you can help somebody with, and putting the good back out there. So it's kind of just been ingrained in me that we take care of each other.
So what has been one of your most rewarding experiences giving back as a realtor?
I'll go first. One of the most local, when COVID started, our office looked for a nonprofit to work with. And so Feed the Gap had just been founded. And so we spent the summer collecting food and delivering it to the displaced children is what they're labeled now, but homeless students in Spotsylvania County, which I believe the number's over 600 now. And so a bunch of us, we gathered non-perishables, things like that, and delivered to the houses. And it was so nice because the kids were just ecstatic that they were getting food and snacks and spaghetti and things like that. So that was really rewarding. And I love that not only I got to see them light up, the agents that participated and their family members also got to experience it. And for some of them, it was the first time doing something at that level.
I'll go next. Okay, sorry. So for me, just recently we helped a local veteran acquire, affordable housing. We were able to, with Central Virginia Housing, we partner with them, and they were able to tap into some Spark funds. They were able to tap into grants, and they were able to, purchase a home where they didn't think they might, be able to. So that was very rewarding, and to be able to allow them to have the American dream to own a home. So, yeah.
I think one of the most rewarding for me has been to see families transition out of motel communities. I've been able to see 3 families move out and get into permanent housing. One family it was 2 young adults, and they had 5 kids under the age of 7 in a hotel room. And one of those was, 2 were twins. So that was a lot for them, and through transitions for you, we were able to mentor them, meet with them weekly, and help them get into permanent housing, work with other nonprofits to even furnish the housing, provide groceries, and just help them transition into a better life. They're still in permanent housing, and it's been a few years. Sometimes people will fall back into the motel community, but they've been able to maintain it, and their kids are doing a whole lot better.
Nice.
So one of the things we really wanted to focus on with this panel was really going beyond the sale with individuals, right? We don't give back to get attention to get the sales, but it's about making an impact through what we do. So how do you see us as realtors being uniquely positioned to make an impact in the community?
In my position, I think that we're well positioned to be help to this community. We know our community. We know our clients. For example, we know a lot about them. We know about their wins. We know about their struggles. We know what services are out there, and so as a connector of people and services, I connect them with the services that they need, and I feel like I'm very well positioned because of that.
I would agree with her. I think we're able to see a lot and meet a lot of different people, and we're able to connect different organizations with our clients. Like a veteran, we may be able to connect with Leashes of Valor, who, they may need a service dog, or someone in the homeless community with Micah. So I think we have connections that other businesses may not, because we're out in the community. And then also we have the time and flexibility to get involved a little bit more.
Denise, is there anything you wanted to add?
No, I mean, I think they've covered it, and we have a lot of resources at our disposal that I don't think we always realize that we have, and that we can share with everybody. So, yeah.
I agree. I think one of the most important things that we do as we network as professionals is not only getting our name out there for business, but it is about building those connections so that we can share back with people that connect. So within the community or the circles that you're working in, what is one area that you think you'd like to share where there is a need that you've been able to address, or that you feel like other people could address?
I'll bring up a small one. It's a large one, but it's small. And I know I think First Choice actually has worked with them, but Treasure House. Treasure houses, for whatever size office that you have, Treasure House is always a need, and what they do is they support those displaced students and their families. And so doing fundraisers for them, I mean, it's things like detergent, soap, deodorant, tampons for the girls, little things like that. They're in need year round. And so it's a simple thing to do. It doesn't take a lot of time. And tying it back into real estate, over the years, my clients know that we're always giving back, and they'll say, hey, are you doing a drive? So while you're doing good, you reach out to your clients, and the flip side to that is you're getting touches with your clients. And a lot of people say, oh, you're in real estate, you guys make a lot of money and don't do a lot of work, because they don't know what they're talking about. But when they see that, wow, you actually give back and you're putting back into I always say I'd rather take care of the people in our backyard before I go outside of that. And it's it works twofold. You're building and strengthening the relationships with your clients, but you're also helping these students, and Treasure House is just a fabulous one to do. Located right behind Massaponax High School, easy to work with, and always in need.
I have helped people connect with the Disability Resource Center. So they have a program, a grant for the elderly or for the veterans that have mobility issues. So what they do is a grant that allows them to have a bathroom remodel and be able to have access, be able to use their home properly and be able to enjoy, mobility. So that's a grant that's available. $8,000. If it's a veteran, they can go as high as $11,000. So that's a good program out there that you can connect your clients with.
I think Zoe Freedom Center is a great organization to work with. There's a lot of addiction in this area, and they provide free Narcan training. They'll come to your office and do it. They also provide a lot of support for families that have loved ones dealing with addiction. So they're in the forefront of our community, and they need a lot of help.
Great, thank you. So I know it was mentioned just a little bit ago, some of the programs that we have in our community, like Micah Ministries, helping those that are in our community find homes. How do you feel like community service by realtors specifically contributes to the socioeconomic well-being of our area?
For me, whether if I'm volunteering or just helping somebody buy or sell a home, I'm connecting them with services and businesses. So they're spending money in their community where they live, they worship, they go to the doctors within that community, so they're spending money. So those businesses are profiting from that, and the community thrives because we connect them. So yes.
I agree. Yeah,
Pretty simple,
Yeah.
right? We're all smart people in the room, but yeah, I think it's just really important that we also recognize it's not just about getting the sale for us. It's what we are providing to the community, to our partners, to our network, to grow their business, right? To help others around us thrive, as well as the people that we're connecting to them, to help them move into maybe a different demographic in that market and help them start a future. So as far as professional, personal growth, how has engaging in community service influenced your career on your relationships within the community? So, right, again, just for the purpose of our panel, not necessarily has it gotten you attention and more clients, but really how has that contributed to how you do your business, the relationships that you have within your network? What has it meant to you?
For me, I've been able to make deeper connections with the people I come across. It's different from the realtor client relationship. They become friends, they become part of your serving, and it builds credibility too. So it allows me to get my name out there without being a salesperson, but actually just giving back and just being a person that serves back to the community.
A third, Denise?
I think for me, it's helped me meet people that I wouldn't traditionally meet in church or my regular sphere of influence or even in real estate. So it's been helpful to see different demographics and build relationship. I think also serving in the community has kind of helped us our realtor brand, because sometimes people think we don't do anything. We have easy jobs and we just make a lot of money and all the things, but really, I mean, a lot of us are serving and building relationships, so I think it's good for the community to see us doing something where we're not making money.
I would agree. I think a lot of times, because we are in a business that is regarded as sales, right? A lot of times when we market that we're doing things or projects or giving back, it can come across as a little bit disingenuous, or that's the first perception that people have. But I do think it's important that when you're involved in those things, people will see your heart. They will see the purpose of why you do those things. And I think that through that, you get to really showcase who you are individually, right? We all have a different passion area that we want to give back to. And I agree, it's just as important that people see that that's really a part of an individual's nature, not just a sales gimmick that we're out there trying to market. Denise, did you have anything you wanted to?
No, I mean, I think you covered it and summed that up.
Thanks. So really, what advice would you give looking to for someone that's looking to get started with community service? They're also balancing the needs of their real estate career. I think everyone can attest, you make this transition and you can spend a whole lot of money before you even make your first dollar.
I'll say I think the key to it is, don't go looking to volunteer to do something to grow your business. Sorry, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. Find the thing that you're passionate about, work it as much as you can, and it's gonna grow. For me, I was doing more volunteering than real estate, because that's my passion. I like to, agents in my office, people know, I like to take care of people, I like to fix things, I like to give what I can give and help where I can help. And so find something that you're passionate about. All three of us talked about something completely different. So there's tons of needs in the area. You have to find what pulls at your heartstrings, what you're passionate about. And it just kind of works out. You don't have to do it 24/7. It could be an hour a month that you volunteer, but you just start somewhere. But you have to go into it with a good heart and for the right reasons. Because if not, just like in real estate, if you go in and try to be somebody that you're not, they're gonna find you out that quick. So go into it with good intentions and something that you're passionate about.
Anything else?
I would say, yes, find what you're passionate about and be more mindful of your calendar so that you don't overbook yourself, you don't double book yourself. And so don't, yeah. You gotta make sure that you're really good with your calendar. So for me, if it's not on the calendar, it is not happening. So yes, my calendar is my best friend.
My advice would be just to find something you're passionate about and start small, because with real estate, sometimes it can take a lot of time and you don't know what type of clients you're gonna have in the future. You may have ones that need a whole lot of time, and if you start with something really small and manageable, it's easier to sustain without getting frustrated and quitting.
I think it's really easy for us to want to take on the world initiative. We're gonna go change it and do it, but even just a little bit of time is helpful.
Yeah.
Probably a great plug for our community service committee as well. We have
Yes.
lots of small projects that you can join. So I think you all mentioned this a little bit. You all talked about different projects, different things that we have passion on. And sometimes in real estate, I think it can be, there's an underlying feeling of competitiveness amongst people at times. How can brokerages and affiliates support their agents in giving back to the community, but also building that community within ourselves as representatives of FAAR to support one another?
I don't know if this is gonna exactly answer it, but so Century 21 Redwood, so they love for us to give back. We have Redwood Gives Back, and so any of our agents, they vetted Feed the Gap, and so we can have money taken directly out of our checks, and then it gets sent to Feed the Gap, and so it's automatic. And so they're always willing to support us and back us when we have nonprofit things that we want to do or something. So I think being at a brokerage that also supports and pushes you just as much to give back as to sell real estate, I think is important. And to find that office culture that supports it.
First Choice is great about that as well. We are able to donate, have money taken out of our commission, and then they donate to a local nonprofit that we choose each month. They'll draw a name. So that's helpful. And then also they're really great about sharing other opportunities like Habitat for Humanity builds, where we can partner with other agents to serve the community.
Well, I think it's great when you partner with a brokerage that can, not only offer resources, but partnerships, where they do group events and where they can volunteer out in the community. You don't have to be doing it by yourself, and so that way you have some sort of support. And, like David and I, we co-founded the, Together for Fredericksburg. We have events, for fundraising and just to support the community. So just to have that support, it's great. So find somebody, a brokerage that's gonna support that.
Well, I know we're doing well on time. Before I move on to any other questions, I just want to see, does anyone from the floor have any questions for our panelists, whether that's about some of the initiatives they're personally involved in or just questions about perspective. Go ahead.
Yeah.
And hello, little friend. Oh.
I was gonna ask, do you promote that if you give back a certain portion of your paycheck to every paycheck to a charity of your choice? Do you promote that to your clients?
Our office promotes it on social media, whatever organization that they're donating
I've
to.
heard some strategies from other realtors where they may put it in their buyer guide or seller guide or presentation saying, hey, if you work with me, 0.5%. Well, yeah, I don't know if anyone has any.
I've seen
I
it
don't
done.
do
I
that.
think I think it's just a personal preference.
Yeah.
I think if it's done tactfully, there's nothing wrong with that. Especially if you're new and working with them so that they can see, oh, look, she is giving back. It is going to a good cause and it may open up a conversation. He didn't like the answer.
And you're also, when you do that, you're also bringing visibility to
Yeah.
the organization you're working with. And
Yeah.
other people might see that and be like, oh, I didn't know that that was an organization we had in our area, or that they were doing that for people
Yeah.
in our area.
I have a question. Okay, so, mainly for the new agents, there could be a misconception of financial or time barriers. Like I just got my license, I'm building my book of business. I don't have the time. Do I have time to give back when I need to be giving back to my bank account? Or do I, the financial barriers waiting for a deal to close? Even though it's a feel-good thing, what benefits do realtors have to their business with these types of initiatives? Why is this important to their business? In addition to the warm and fuzzies, why is this important to their business in our community?
I think for
That's
me,
like a two-part question almost.
yeah. So for the new agents, so we're into year 5. Every month we pack bags for Feed the Gap. It's 1 hour. We've got it down to a science. And so the newer agents can come in. It doesn't cost them anything but an hour a month. For me personally, I have clients from 10 and 15 years ago that watch my social media and say, ooh, you're having a drive, can I donate? Or hey, are you doing this again? And it's kept me in connection with them, which then in turn, and throughout the transaction, they get to know who I am. And so it's kept them in contact with me. You have to crawl before you walk. So finding something that's as simple as, we pack bags once a month for an hour a day. That's all it's gonna cost you is 1 hour. We're in and out.
I would say with the Lions, our motto is we serve. So our focus is service, not necessarily monetarily, so there's various programs that we have available for you to, volunteer. So not only that, but it gives you the opportunity to, make phone calls to your sphere and say, hey, I am actually collecting, glasses that you may not need, can I, if you have any, do you wanna, can I stop by? And it gives you an opportunity to have another conversation with your client that you might not have had. So, it's not about the money, it's about your willingness to, help.
I think it creates soft touch opportunities, like Glenda was saying, to reach out to your sphere. But also when you're a new agent, it's easy to focus on everything you're doing to make money. And then when you're not making money, it's very, very discouraging. And I know it can, for me, there's a lot of self-focus. But when you start serving, even if it's only a little bit, you see there are people that are doing a whole lot worse than you are. And it's better for you mentally when you're able to take the focus off of yourself.
I think those are all great points. I think even as simple as it doesn't have to be a monetary contribution that you make as a new agent. It's an hour of time. We've all scrolled on social media longer than that, so we can probably make the time.
I have one more question. Glenda, can you tell us a little bit about the 501c3 process to get that for your
So
organization?
that was something that David and I worked together. It's an application that we filled out, and it's actually not very extensive, but he handled most of that. And so, he just told me, okay, we always have accountability meetings, him and I. And so, we were just discussing our next project that we were gonna have for just us doing stuff together. And then I said, you know what, we've been putting a lot of our personal money into this. We need to make sure we have a tax, break, and make sure that we're, following the tax, rules. So I said, we need to create a 501c. And then he's like, well, we've been talking about it, let's go ahead and do it. So we have a friend that, does paperwork like that, and he just
It's
fills
always
it
good to
out.
have an accountant.
It's
I would
an
just say that.
accountant,
Just-
yeah. It's an
Have
accountant,
an
yeah.
accountant actually help you set that up.
Yeah.
Because you do have to file taxes.
Yeah.
Because it is starting a corporation, and then the 501c is actually under the corporation.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So there is some tax issues that you have to be aware of, so talk to your accountant.
Yes, there you go.
We're back to that network, know your people, bring them all in.
Yes, bring it all in.
So kind of building on that, have you partnered with any local organizations, maybe within the sphere that we see within our work, or other realtors, to amplify the impact of your service or a project? And what was that experience like?
I just bring all my connections. Look, I have my lender, that's amazing, and I bring them in and, ask them to volunteer with me. Anybody that I can
You
come
know you're
across-
coming on the journey.
Correct. So, I'm always talking about what I'm doing in our community. So for me, what I'm focusing right now is with the Lions Club. So, it's service. So when I invite them, I said, listen, this is not a networking group. So this is just a service group. So if you are interested in serving, then we do have opportunities. So a lot of my people have joined the Lions, and it's funny because anytime I have an event for business, it turns out to be a Lions Club event too, because all of them are Lions. So it works out pretty
Aren't we
good.
having a dinner tonight at Renato's at 5:30?
Yes, we have it tonight. If anybody wants to join, come see us.
So I think to build off of that, it's even some of the benefits to your business is not only deeper connections with your clients or within the community, it's within the network of who you work
itself,
with
yeah.
on a daily
Yeah.
basis. Learning just more about those people, who they are as individuals, so that you know them as a referral and they know you as well.
And going back to something you said a little bit ago about, being competitive and things like that. I've attended events that other offices and agents have put on because it's a cause that I also believe in, and they've welcomed me and vice versa. And so I think it's okay that we do attend each other's events if it's something that you're drawn to. Not like, oh, well, they're gonna get all the credit. It's not about that. You're showing support, and while we all compete, we all still have to work together. And I think that's in business and with community service. And I think agents need to understand it's okay to attend somebody else's event.
Exactly.
So
Did you have something?
I didn't. That was
No,
perfect.
that's okay. I just saw the nod and I like it. So I know that I'll open up for more questions too, but really, if there was one message that you could leave with the individuals that we have with us today about the importance of community service, the impact that it's had on your business, what would that be?
Be yourself, have fun, enjoy what you're doing, especially if you're passionate with what you're supporting. It's not work. It just, it's fun.
Love that.
I would say it's a privilege to have the flexibility to serve and find something you're passionate about and give it your all and make a difference in someone's life.
yeah, and I'm gonna agree with that. give back, it's the right thing to do at whatever level you do it, but give from the heart. I know a lot of times people give and say, oh, well, what if it's misused? Listen, you gave it with good intentions and a good heart. What they do on that side will be taken care of. I fully believe in what you put out into the universe is what comes back. And so my husband laughs and he says, thank God I have you, because I'd have nothing coming back.
The smart man, it sounds like.
But I firmly believe that you have to put out there what you want your life to be. You have to do good to get good.
Well, and I think you hit on it earlier as well of with that message is it will be very obvious if your intention is genuine or if it is not. People will be able to see whether or not you are truly passionate about something or whether it's something that you're trying out to market. And I think connecting with the right people, whether that's through groups at FAAR or through some of these projects, and finding community that helps you find what your passion is just as important as well. Any other questions for our wonderful panelists?
I think I have one more.
Now don't be hitting them with 3 at a time. One at a time.
Earlier, you guys were mentioning different grants available, like $8,000 for the bathroom and this, that, and third. Is there a central location that agents can go to find out what's available? Because like if I wasn't sitting here, I wouldn't know that. Like how do we?
I'll connect it with the right people. Just
So just refer them to you.
you know?
No, but seriously,
The ones I've come across, so Simply Angels was brought to us, Jen Burton, brought it to the foundation, and I'm like all about them now because they specifically serve veterans. And so they don't have grants like she was talking about, but they're always looking for fundraising and helping. But yeah, I would love if there was somewhere like that.
Maybe that's something we could talk about.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great panel next
Well,
time.
would that be something that the community service committee could like kind of look into?
Let me not speak for someone in a higher position on the.
Well, I'm just saying because like instead of trying to raise initiatives of like just raising money and things like that, maybe that could be more of a valuable asset through FAAR to have like a central committee that people can go to look at what is available, what service opportunities there are, whatever, like a roundabout way instead of just targeting like whatever 4 or 5 organizations you're trying to.
So actually the community service committee here is very involved and very engaged with the community. We have a project every month, and we also have a very public open community service Facebook group. So anytime I see realtors out there working with an organization, I try and share it in that group. Do we have a resource for all the grants and everything? Unfortunately not. I don't know if that would fall quite under the community service purview because they're really there for the service aspect. We're trying to do the service
grants, but I'm
opportunities
talking
too.
about like just like all the organizations that they can be involved in. Like,
There's so many in our area, and it spans such a wide variety of help. And just know that there's plenty of opportunities to give back. There's tons of organizations, and there are even some, I hear every day about new ones. So it's really impossible to keep track of them all. But the more you're connected and the more people you know, just putting the information out there, say, hey, I'd want more info on this, I guarantee you there's someone who can get that for you.
I will say this, and maybe that's something that FAAR needs to be a little bit more proactive with, because you have 2 services. You have the Realtors Foundation and the Community Service Committee. On the Realtors Foundation, we are dealing with grants every month. And we're dealing like with Zoe's house, with SAWs, servants at work, they build
specifically.
So it might fall more into the foundation purview than the service purview.
But we can only
The money
focus on housing initiatives though. We can't focus on all of like the
But I think if
giving to
it's
kids
more
and
like
stuff,
putting it out there to where if you are dealing with a client, reach out to someone on the Realtors Foundation or reach out to someone on the Community Service Committee, because we might be able to connect you
I
with
think I've
something.
done that with you.
So, because like
It's
when
not
I
what you
said-
know, it's who you know,
Yeah,
right?
so
I mean,
it's
that's the
all
world we're
about
living in.
connecting and know your resources. Use FAAR to your benefit. Because there's 13 board members on the Realtors Foundation. I'm actually rolling off this year, so there's gonna be room, so if you know,
I'm
feel
still
free.
It's a great way to stay informed.
Yeah. So feel free to reach out to me or somebody on the board, Selena's on the board, Denise is on the board. That way that's how you're getting those connections, you're building those connections, so.
I think too, even just educating those at your brokerage or realtors that may be asking questions that you know. Please, ladies, correct me if I'm wrong, but for our community service committee, you can pop in at any time as a guest. So even if you are committed elsewhere, but just have a question or need help, that's a great opportunity to hop on with a room full of people that are involved to at least get some names or start a conversation at a later time. Or even to share events.
And we did put a copy of the community service calendar at the front, so feel free to pick up one of those on your way out. You should see them. We generally advertise them in the FAAR Friday. We do quarterly Thurman Brisbane dinners. We do things with the food bank. We do, you name it, the community service committee has probably done it. So we'd love to see more involvement from agents in general.
We talked a little bit about that hour time we did sandwiches for Micah a couple weeks ago, and I think 30 minutes. 30 minutes was, I don't remember if YPN.
It was quick.
No,
It doesn't
ours
take
was
a long
like
time.
18.
Okay. So
With the bread delay.
I feel like what that means is there might be some healthy competition as well. Can make sandwiches.
So it sounds like y'all are also having fun.
Yeah,
while you're doing
you
it.
know.
Yeah, see?
There's a question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Point of information for her. Hi,
Hello.
How are you guys doing? One of the things in regard to grants that I have seen around is contact your points of like VirginiaHousing.com. They have grants specifically for different areas of different people. Your favorite housing counselor office, Central Rappahannock, they do have access to different grants that are through Virginia Housing. First Home Alliance, Faith Housing Coalition, any non-profit that 503 that has a hot representative or counselor might have access to those programs that you might be interested. I'm just tossing that out because I have volunteered with those groups, and I have seen that they have mentioned that. Also, your favorite mortgage company, they have those things that you can tap in. So I know that some realtor companies have their own attachment with a certain mortgage company. Look around because they might have different avenues that a client might be in need of.
And part of the difficulty is, as soon as you get all that stuff down on paper, things change, and it's no longer accurate anymore. So that's one of the issues you're running into with things constantly changing, organizations going away, coming back, funding being cut. That affects lots of things charity related.
So what do we have coming up like this, like, you know, now or more recently that we can
Absolutely
participate in if you want to go?
So right now our area faces a big issue with hunger. Our Fredericksburg Regional Food Bank does a lot for a lot of families in our area. The Community Service Committee is putting together an Easter basket project for the food banks and for families served by the food bank. And basically what it is we get these square laundry baskets from Target, and then we fill them with everything they would need to have an Easter dinner. So, and that also includes some Easter fun activities for the kids, like eggs and flashcards or stuff like that. So it's a great project. It's great for individuals if you want to do a whole one, or it's great if you want to just grab a basket for your office and everyone bring 1 or 2 items. That works great for this project too. So you'll start to see the marketing on that very soon. But that's our next thing. In
And we do
addition to
have
our
Amazon sign up.
Yes,
for
we're
that,
working
too.
on an Amazon list. If you would just prefer to click and
Click
send
and
it
shop.
somewhere, we can make that happen. So, and we also have a virtual donation drive link for the food bank online if you'd rather just give money, because we can always make that happen too. But there's always something, so.
Any last questions for our panelists? No? Well, ladies.
When do you sleep?
Oh, yeah. It's fair.
Do you guys have any upcoming initiatives that you need help with, or anything, like not just generic but something specific that's going on that could be contributed to?
So right now, excuse me, my office is collecting dresses for the veterans, like the wives. They have a from now till April, was it?
Operation
So,
Responsiveness.
yes, so it's you know, like any dresses for like the prom or, you know, like gowns and stuff like that, suits, we'll take those as well.
It is for the women, right, not the girls?
Well, or their dogs, so it's for veterans, their wives, or children.
Children, yeah.
So for like proms, weddings.
Just, yeah.
Are cocktail dresses accepted or just gowns?
Yeah, cocktail dresses are
Cocktail dresses.
accepted.
Dressy.
That's,
Yeah,
I wasn't
anything
sure
for,
about that.
yeah, like galas and stuff like
Okay.
that, and the
Oh, yeah.
suits are welcome too, so, shoes as well, so.
And the other thing, like, I take my dress and give it to David to donate. I mean, take a photo of that,
Yeah, you
and
can
the
promote it.
community seeing, those are two different agents at two different companies working together. That
Yeah, it's
goes a
collaborative.
long way with the public.
Tag
It goes a
him, tag
long
the
way.
organization,
Yeah.
and you're just gaining visibility for
Yeah.
everybody.
So I did a video, just, I hate video personally, but you got to do the videos, people. We did a video, cause Kim Melendez is the one who brought me into that. He's a lender, and the other day, we just had people coming in.
Yeah.
Just dropping off dresses. And I thought, oh, are you with this organization? And they're like, no, we just saw your video.
We just saw your video and we just
And
dropped
they're
off
dropping by
dresses.
dresses, so.
Yeah, so it's pretty neat.
just- Whatever you're doing, just do a quick video, hey,
Yeah.
and yeah, definitely tag the organizations as well.
Yeah.
What's the timeframe for dresses?
We're accepting it up till April 15th,
Yeah.
so, and I'll go give you my address to where to drop it off.
WPR is doing a collection for Hope for Appalachia. That's a region of Kentucky that's really, really impoverished. That's gonna be from March 10th through April 4th. So a lot of different businesses around the area, they're collecting for that Hope boxes, and it has like a toothbrush, brush, socks, things kids need, a Bible. They're also collecting prom dresses. First Choice is a drop-off location for that as well.
Denise, do you have anything?
I don't have anything coming up just yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we're too far now.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate you coming and talking to everyone, just kind of explaining the impact. I'll do one last reminder. Obviously, if you have any questions or interest, always drop by the FAAR Community Service Committee meetings. Also, please let us know if there's any feedback for future YPN panels.
And when are those meetings?
They are the
Second Wednesday.
second
Wednesday,
9 a.m.?
10:30.
No,
which
community
one?
services on
Oh,
Fridays.
Fridays.
At 9:30, and YPN's on Wednesday.
Second Wednesday.
Yeah.
10:30.
First Friday, Community
There you
Service
go.
Committee,
Yes.
second Wednesday for YPN, or if we have a panel, it's
10:30.
right after the panel.
You're not
so
supposed to
everyone's
put me on the
invited to
spot
stay.
like that.
Wasn't in the script.
It wasn't in the script.